Hey everyone, last year we at the Naturopathic Community developed a clinic shift tracker for students in fourth year to easily track their clinical requirements. We have made some improvements and simplified the tracker to track only what is necessary. You can make your own copy by going to naturopathiccommunity.com, select the resource center, go down to clinic shift tracker, click open, and make a copy to save in your Google account. It has been developed based off of the Toronto CCNM campus. However, we are open to making changes if required for other schools. Please reach out to us if you would find the tracker useful, but your school setup is different. You can click the Contact Us button here or visit our website and click the Contact Us button in the website there. So throughout each page, there are instructions embedded for using the tracker. Once you are comfortable with the way it operates, feel free to delete the instructions by clicking the three dots in the top right corner of each set of instructions. So if you select a set of instructions, click the three dots here, you will be able to delete each set of instructions across each page. Once you have made a copy of the clinic shift tracker, the first thing to do to set up is going to the setup info sheet. So this is the first page that should open when you download it. But to get started, I will create an example based off of the 2022-2023 year. So we will start in the first cell here. So double click, and let's say your year started in May, and we'll go with May 8th. So that's still in 2023. So I'll change that 22. I guess May 9th could have been your start date. So then we can fill those cells down. So you can have one per day. So let's say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is your shift schedule. And that's how you would set up your first shift date. And let's say if, for example, you had two shifts on one day, so you had a double shift. Let's use Wednesday, for example. So we can go select Wednesday. You'll hit the checkbox here, and this is the AM portion. You'll hit that checkbox there, and the PM portion, and it will give your shifts a shift ID accordingly. And the last step on this first page, the setup info page, you can go in and select your start date. So again, you just need to double click the date fields. But for this example, I will enter in my own sample. So let's say your year started on May 9th and it could end on April 28th of 2023. So that's about the full term for fourth year. Once this sheet is set up and you're sure that no changes are needed to be made, you can go down here, right click, and select Hide Sheet. This pop-up's just warning you that there's only specific cells that should be edited, but in this case, you can go ahead and click OK. The shift totals sheet, this will work as your progress tracker. I realize that some schools may be a little bit different, but again, this is based off of the Toronto CCNM campus. So the first row here, the fourth year, number of days completed. Again, so I used May 9th, 2022 till April 28th, 2023. So it is showing that that year is 83% complete. And this is a progress tracker that will show you where you're at throughout the year. Again, clinic hours. If this changes, you will just make the edit here. And all of these are predefined formulas, so those are not needed to be changed. Same with all your primary contacts, secondary contacts, etc. So any treatments or exams, again, this is for CCNM Toronto. If you need to add additional treatments or exams, you can do so. And I'll just use an example. If you put other, some type of other treatment or exam, what you will need to do is select across to here and drag down however many there are. So in this case, there's just one more, so you just have to drag down one. And again, just select OK, that edit is OK to be made. So now it's tracking your other treatments or exams. Let's say there was a specific exam name here. And in the patient visits, it will now show the other option for you. But hopefully for at least for CCNM in Toronto, you will not have to worry about this. You can just leave it as is. This page is your shift log. So this is where you will track every single shift that you have and the hours that correspond to that shift. So again, at Toronto CCNM, most shifts are 6 hours. So you have a drop down option to select up from 1 to 12. You can also manually enter from your keyboard if you want to hit 6, and it will be added there. So based off of that first initial setup page, each of these columns will be set up accordingly. And so I will show you a couple more examples here. If I add 6 in for each of these, you will see the hours on the right here get counted and totaled up, along with them being displayed here. And back on your shift totals page, you will see that your clinic hours are starting to count up here along with the progress tracker. So the other part of this, if you have an on-call shift, so you missed a shift or you have to make a specific shift up, you would select the OC code here, and that will show you over here that there's an on-call shift required. You have one remaining. What you do, you come down here to the on-call shifts, just double click and select your date that you made it up. So let's say you made it up on March 1st, and here you can add your hours. And that's similar to the externship. If for those of you that do have an externship, let's say you missed from June 13th down, you would just go in and select EX for each shift that you missed, and then you will enter your externship dates in here. So that same thing, let's say you made it up on March 11th, or you did your externship from March 11th, you can enter it in accordingly. Yes. However, depending on how many hours you have completed on that externship. So this is the last sheet. This is your patient visits sheet, and this is the one that you will enter every single patient visit in to track your number of contacts, primary, secondary, the type of visits, and the treatments or modalities that you have completed. So again, just double click, select your date depending on the date that you saw that patient. For your own sake, you can enter in the patient's initials, and you'll select if you had a primary or secondary role, your type, whether it was in person, a sim case, or virtual, and each modality that you performed on that patient. And when you enter in the modalities here, if you go back to your shift totals, you will see them get counted up here. And right in this case, you'll see it's a -1, but that's because we did not enter your number of requirements. So here, if there's a required of 10 modalities for each of these, you'll see here how many you have remaining. So that's basically it for how to use this tracker. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, or if your school operates a little bit differently, again, feel free to reach out and we will see if we can make some changes to fit your needs.